we're having a baby. I'm going to tell you more on this episode of the Unlock Success Podcast.
This is the Unlock Success Podcast. We're helping entrepreneurs around the world dive deep into the keys you need to shatter excuses, believe in yourself, and help you achieve your highest goals. Here's your host, 8-figure entrepreneur and the living legend of internet marketing, Anthony Morrison.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Anthony Morrison here, and welcome to another episode of the Unlock Success Podcast, where I try to teach you how to unlock success in every part of your life: business, relationships, health, fitness, and all of the above. So on this episode, we are going to unlock a little success in my life. So as you probably saw by the title of this podcast, I am having my first child. So have successfully entered the don't start are part of my life now, right? Where I have to actually be an adult. And it's kind of interesting because I don't know, I always thought that I would have kids, but I never really felt ready. And I think everybody told me, you're not going to ever be ready. You just got to do this if you're going to do it, because you never feel ready. So I kind of bit the bullet. I was like, man, I'm turning 39 this year. I probably should just go on and do this. It'll be everybody says it's the best thing in life, and I don't know what it's like because I don't have one. So we went all in. We said, okay, we're going to do this. And so luckily, no problems, no issues. For us in getting pregnant, my wife was found out she was pregnant in July, and at first it freaked me out. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared to death. And then it kind of sunk in. Let it sit. And the next phase was is it a boy or a girl? Now I don't know if you've got any friends that are having kids or have had kids, and one wanted one wanted the other, gender. But I was convinced it was a boy, right? Now, a lot of you will probably say, if you're listening to this, you'll probably say, of course you were convinced it's a boy. That's what you want. You want a boy, you're a boy, all this stuff. No. My mom had 2 boys first before she had a girl. My wife's mom, my mother-in-law, had a son before she had Alexa. And all throughout our family, boys came first, right? So I was just convinced that based on our genetics, I was going to have a little boy. And instead, I had a little girl, or I'm having a little girl. And so all of my friends are extremely excited to find out that I'm not having a boy. I'm trying to figure out why your friends, by the way, if any of you can unlock this for me, why are your friends so excited that you are having the gender that you did not think you were having, right? I don't understand this. I haven't figured out this concept yet, but they are all thrilled. Say, I told you so, I told you so. So having a little girl. So the next phase was we waited a long time to have kids. So it wasn't like we got married and had kids immediately or anything. And I've actually been with my wife for 12 years. So we waited a really long time before we took this step. So we kind of already had our kids' names picked out, right? And so we're naming our daughter Emerald Ray, and it's my wife's middle name is Ray, and Emerald is for the Emerald Coast. So we love going to Destin, Florida. That's also known, the beaches in the Gulf are also known as the Emerald Coast, and it's where we got married. We got married on those beaches. I grew up on those beaches. We have a home there now, and so it's kind of something that's special to us, but it's also a cool name, just a different name, something that you don't hear every day. So we've named our daughter, and now we're kind of in the stage of kicking me out of my home office so that Emerald can have a nursery. Yeah, a nursery. So yeah, I mean, it's a big change in life, and I think that as an entrepreneur, look, I can get on here and talk about all the ways that you can unlock success in your life, both business and personal, but you can't teach what you don't know, and so this experience will be quite different because this is not something I have any experience with. Right? Nobody in my family, my brother, my sister, they haven't had kids. So trying to navigate having a child while also, working an awful lot and, kind of having the schedule that I have, it's going to be different. It's going to be challenging. And I anticipate we will have some Unlock Success episodes in the future on the challenges that I face and how I navigate those challenges. But I will say this. I truly believe as an entrepreneur, if you're somebody that's sitting there thinking, wow, like I want to have kids, but I'm scared to have kids because of my business. I felt that way. That's exactly how I felt for many years. But now that the reality is set in that I'm having a kid, right? And so it's like, the deal is done, okay? You start thinking about it a little bit differently, right? And kind of like some of the stuff that I've talked about on the podcast, over the last year, just, putting your family first, spending time with family, realizing what's really important in life, and then what's maybe not as important. I think you'll find that, and I'm hoping that I find this. I'm certainly believing that I will. That having kids brings more happiness in your life, brings more fulfillment, right? In your life, and it also brings more drive, because I know I mean everybody I see that has kids, man, they instantly turn on the overdrive, right? Because they want to be more successful, because now it's not just them that they have to take care of, it's their kids, right? And you don't love anything more than you love your kids, from what I hear. And so it's like you go into hyper mode of like, I want to maximize my time and my opportunities so that I can be as financially well off as possible, because I want to take care of my kids. I want to make sure they can go to college. I want to make sure that they have everything they need, and all of those things. So I think that having kids can also stimulate, right, growth as an entrepreneur. I think, again, it's all about just how we look at it and how we analyze it, and from what perspective we choose to view it, right? So I will keep you up to date on my perspective as little Emerald comes rolling down the tracks here at us. And, hopefully in the future episodes of the podcast, I'll be able to kind of give you some insights from a first-time dad, entrepreneur that is, work has always come first. And now all of a sudden, work is going to have to come second, right? And it's an interesting concept. It's an interesting shift. And I look forward to sharing some of that with you. So my advice to you is on this episode, if you're thinking about having kids and you're scared to death to do it because you think it'll affect your business, I was right there with you. But I can tell you I'm excited to have a child on the way. And I've thought about it from a different perspective, maybe one I didn't think about it from before. And I think that it can also be a motivation and a thing that's going to stimulate growth as an entrepreneur as well. So I say just buckle up, give it a shot, make it happen, and get it done. Life is short. So the sooner you have the kids, the more life you get to spend with them, right? So hopefully that rings a bell for some of you that are kind of stuck in the same situation that I was in. And I look forward to sharing some more stories and information and thoughts, kind of as I go through this process with you. It's all about trying to figure out what steps are right, what path is right, what moves are right, what decisions are right. And I'm happy to share those as I go through them with you, both the wins and the losses, the successes and the failures, because I think we learn from our failures, right? So stay tuned for that. I'll be sharing more about Emerald and in my life as a dad and an entrepreneur with you here on the podcast. And I look forward to having you join me next week with another episode of the Unlock Success Podcast.